Hey, what's up everybody? Tarafdar back with a new video. Today we're going to talk about what I'm doing in terms of building my A team and why I think you should understand the knowledge behind why I'm doing this in the first place, given the economics of the situation and what's happening with the whole situation with COVID-19, business environments, and specifically people who are having challenges with personal credit. So stick around. Hey, what's up everybody? Tarafdar back with a brand new video. In this channel, we educate you on financial knowledge, transformation in terms of financial confidence, helping you get a lifestyle which is credit worthy, as well as giving you ability to build your wealth successfully. If that's something that you're interested in, then don't forget to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so every time there's a new video like this, you'll be first to be notified. And one more thing, turn the notifications from personalized to all, so every single time there's a new video or perhaps a live stream, you'll be first to know. So before we begin, let's talk about some of the challenges that we're going to face coming back into the reality of going back out in the world, right? So we know that there was quarantine that happened, and there's still a lot of different places that have or are undergoing quarantine at the moment. And I think that this is a situation where we have to kind of come together and realize that what's the future going to look like? What are some of the things that we need to be prepared for when it comes to delving back into the reality? The first thing you'll notice is that a lot of businesses are going through some financial difficulties and challenges, and that's actually one of the biggest reasons as to why I believe it's important to work together through an infrastructure where we can basically team up and tackle some of the economic challenges for small to medium-sized businesses. Now, you might be thinking to yourself that, hey, personal credit is something that I focus on, so I don't necessarily have to worry about business owners, but the reality to it is that you actually need to think about them as well for two reasons. Number one, business owners are in need of essentially individuals to take on some of the businesses that they have. And the reason why, it's because if they were to sell it, they'd be liable and they would have no wealth to take out. Where on the other side, they have to unload their businesses because of the current economic circumstances that they fall into. Fact of the matter, a lot of these business owners are actually personally guaranteeing. So that means that their personal assets are tied to the business. So if they were to walk out, the creditors can actually pursue them on a personal level. So this is the only reason why I think it's a very nice opportunity for individuals like yourself and me, who are acquisition people who would like to buy and sell companies, to offer solutions to solve problems for companies, to step into this territory and help these guys out. Now, there's a lot of people who are also looking to exit in the next 3 to 4 years. And I think this is something that we both need to pay attention to, because you who's listening to this are perhaps an individual who's been considering going into business. And a lot of us think that, to go into business, we need the money and we need credit or some sort of capital structure to be able to acquire that. And the reality is, there's so many different angles in which we can help owners and businesses in these trying times, in these difficult situations, that we forget the creative element of things. We forget that there's just a lot more to it than just money and credit, right? And this is where really I want us to come together and concentrate on some of the opportunities that we can create for business owners based on their special skill sets that we have, right? So we bring a lot of things to the table, especially individually. I think there's a lot more things that we know on a personal level that can benefit business owners, that we're not basically exploiting that knowledge to the best of our ability. And in exchange for that, right, there's a lot more things that we can go ahead and do for owners, which in turn can solve a major problem in their businesses. So start thinking about ownership structures and equity and acquisition and a perspective of problem solving. I think there's a lot of people who think money and credit is the solution to be all of the things that you need to do, but the reality is that is not all the things that you have to worry about, right? There's a lot more to it than that. So I just want you to open your mind up to the possibilities that are out there, so that you can definitely benefit. So that's one of the ways to solve a lot of business owners' problems, especially in these trying times. The other problem that they have is, obviously, if they're personally guaranteed, they're tied, on a personal level with the business, and their credit is probably going to take a major hit. And being financially educated in this area, especially credit knowledge, will not only help them understand and navigate the credit space efficiently, but also guide them on what are some of the things they need to do in order to prevent some of the downfalls with credit. A lot of people are overutilizing their credit, and they don't have to be. They have the cash windfall. They have all these type of liquidity or assets sitting in their bank, and they're just not using it to the optimum ability. And the reality is, if they were to pay down their cards, or let's say some of the debts that they have on a personal level, there's a lot more leveraging they can do on an unsecured term instead of having their personal guarantees tied to the business, and just navigate away from the danger of being personally guaranteed. Because at the end of the day, if you look at the the economics of businesses right now, a lot of people are failing on a massive scale. In fact, a lot of businesses are stating that they're basically not going to reopen after this whole scenario. Why? It's because there's a significant loss that they went through on a financial level, which in turn is not feasible for them to go back and just assume that kind of liability. So what's going to happen, right? A lot of assets that were there in the businesses are going to be sitting there unused, and it's going to be depreciating in value in the long haul. So you, as a person who's looking through this content, who's understanding and acknowledging that small to medium-sized business owners are essentially suffering economically, need to understand and do your part. We have to come together and realize, there are things that we can do as a unit to prevent this calamity and disaster from unfolding 100 times worse than it is supposed to be. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think that, hey, it's just a question of just going in and buying those businesses, or hey, if they walk out, they walk out. We don't have to worry about them, right? But the reality is there's domino effect to that, right? If the money is trapped in businesses and owners are walking away from it, that means that the money is not going to be recycled into the economy, which in turn is a very dangerous thing because the economy depends on that cycle of funds, right? And we might think that it's not a big deal for us, but when you have hundreds of thousands of businesses that are going through the same scenario, what happens now is there's just a huge avalanche of businesses that are failing, and that's going to cripple the economy as we know it. Inflation is going to go through the roof, and we're going to have a lot of expenses go up because supplies are going to be limited, right? So if you think about all these type of things, right, this is the time to think about, hey, how can we come together? What are some of the things that we can do based on our specialty? And if we don't have that kind of specialty, what can we do as a community to be able to thrive and move forward? What can we do as a community to do things that will change the landscape of how we do business, or help these individual business owners go through some sort of transformational change without, the frustration or the angle of frustration in which they have to deal with, a lot of their financial pains that they're currently going through. So that's why I'm developing my A-team, right? That was the story behind all this. And the A-team really is essentially, you coming to me and we go through a mentorship program. Let me explain this to you because I think you can definitely benefit from that. This mentorship program breaks down the logical sequence in reference to looking at businesses, whether they're profitable, not profitable, cash flow crunch issues, or even distressed, and understanding the implications of what are some of the tools and resources that we have access to, and the knowledge base we have access to help these business owners without even putting a single dollar in on your side and being rewarded for it in a very great manner. And on top of that, you'll have systems to implement for them that will navigate them away from financial distress and pain as well. A good part of that is my background, right? Obviously, investment banking and debt negotiation. So there's a lot of tools that I can bring to the table. Now, of course, as a team and as a unit, that is the problems that we'll be solving on a long-term basis. Now, this mentorship program does require an investment from your side. And the reason I say that is because free can only get you so far. Knowledge can only get you so far. But if you want income, you want outcomes, you want results, and business owners want to see people who are serious, then you need to invest in yourself, right? So this A-team structure, it's not necessarily limited to a few specific individuals, but so long as you're willing and committed to go through an entrepreneurial journey yourself and are interested in doing things that are uniquely different, put yourself in a different pedestal and create some wealth that's meaningful, then this is something that you can definitely do. So consider doing these type of things. And if you ever wanted to start your own business or buy one, I think before you do that, consider this investment first, because it's going to give you a lot more knowledge, even if you were not to work with me, as to go out into the world and find the right business for you and the right infrastructure so that you can do the deals that you aspire to do. So I hope that this video gave you some sort of inspiration as to what are some of the things that we need to look forward to. My biggest reasons as to why I'm building an A-team, and I think that you should definitely consider investing in yourself. And if you're interested in joining my team, if you're interested in learning from me and getting the mentorship that's required, especially this is a golden opportunity, right? What we say is there's very small gaps in history that open up doors for you to be able to build significant wealth. These are one of the gaps, right? Because after a certain time, when there's a huge downfall in the economy and economies are being crippled, it's going to be ever so complicated to take the benefits from that. While this is happening, there's a preventive measure that we can take. This is an ideal opportunity to build a lot of wealth, and you should definitely step into this territory because this is the right time. So that's my advice to you. So if you're serious and if you want to get started and if you want to up your knowledge in reference to understanding businesses, the infrastructure we have in place, how to solve some of the business financial challenges, help them build business credit and personal, as well as buy into companies via creative structures and strategic alignment of values and services that we offer, and being mentored by me on a personal level, this is an opportunity for you. So if you're serious, consider writing to me, ali@tarafdar.com, and tell me that you're interested. I had a lot of people write me in the emails lately, but they just simply don't respond back. And then they respond back after a few days. And by that time, I already take on so many different clients that I don't really have time to go back. So if you're serious, I want you to really consider this opportunity. It's something that you need to know anyways. Especially going within the fact that a lot of people's jobs are at risk as well. So if you're one of those individuals that are considering a career change or some sort of opportunity, then this might be helpful to you. Okay, so once again, ali@tarafdar.com. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video, so I want you to go check that out. And I hope this video gave you some insights on some of the changes that's happening economically. What are some of the things that we can do to help business owners, and why it's important to have an A team to work with that understand the economics and some of the consequences, all while being able to provide solutions to those problems and being able to, fill that gap that's the void, and by benefiting, of course, by building massive wealth. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Turn the bell icon on to all instead of personalized, so every time there's a new video like this, you'll be first to be notified. There's a live stream coming up, so don't forget to schedule that and keep the notifications on, because I'd definitely love to see you there and have a discussion with you. With that said, this is your guide and mentor, Ali Tarafdar. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.